Good morning. I do not know what is going on with me, but for whatever reason, I am waking up in the morning and I feel compelled to do these recordings. I don't know why this is happening to me, but this sometimes happens in my life where this happens a lot and it's been happening a lot recently, but I will feel called to do something. For example, like starting the book club. When I started the book club, I hadn't read a fucking book in about 3-4 goddamn years. And it was a very impulsive feeling. And I just trusted it. I leaned into it and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm impulsive. I'm going to start this book club. Same thing with the library that we're building. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I feel compelled, and it's something that I'm wanting to do. I'm intuitively trying to be present with myself. So yeah, if you don't want to listen to this shit, obviously you have free will. It's social media. Just log the fuck off of my page. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about fighting for the living, because I think all we are doing is reacting to very visually grotesque images of Black death, which is fine. That is what it has been historically when it comes to social movement in this country, particularly around Black life or civil rights. It's the death of Emmett Till. It's the brutal fucking images, brutal images of a child being dismembered and violently murdered. Those are the types of things that it calls people to action. It's very jarring and shocking, and it's your humanity is then charged, and you're awake now. You're like, oh my God, what the fuck? This can't happen in a society. This is terrible. We have to stop moving like that. Every single day, every moment that someone is going hungry, every moment that a child is being railroaded into the prison industrial complex, that a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman or a gender non-conforming person is being criminalized just for existing in the world under the systems that were created by the ruling class. We have to start organizing around the living. Right now, everything is very reactive. We have to be proactive because the state is proactive. The state is not waiting until, the money that they have stolen from indigenous, racialized, colonized communities. They're not waiting for the moment where, we all organize for revolutionary change and expropriate the land and take back the wealth. They are on the offensive all the fucking time. They're not waiting until one of their people has been taken out. They are constantly on the offensive. We need to start moving like that. We can't keep only mobilizing after somebody has died. After they have in a lot of ways used the images of Black death to shock people. Really, a lot of times it's used as propaganda. It is wielded as a tool to rile people up and then to build an economy around that. So every time this happens, corporations are getting rich. More moneyed people are making more profit. The celebrity industrial complex is then supercharged, and more fucking people are making money just talking about this shit. Even me, I've seen it happen to me. Colleges are now paying me thousands of fucking dollars just to talk politics. There is an economy being built around Black death. We cannot be only reactive because they are using this death to continue to capitalize. We have to start centering the living as well. We have to stop thinking about state violence as exclusive to police lynching. State violence is an everyday phenomenon. When you are in your community and you are unable to access free healthcare, when you are unable to access free resources, that is state violence. When you are being dispossessed from your fucking community because of gentrification, and you're being pushed out into territories where you're unable to get employment, and therefore poverty is increasing and houselessness is increasing, that is state violence. So I just want us to really think about the fact that there are people who are living right now, and we are not organized. We just wait for another body to be fucking laid out in the street until we decide to make a move. And again, I cannot stress enough. We are at war. It doesn't look like war because a lot of it is also psychological warfare. A lot of it is propaganda. We have been fed specific images for decades of what war is. Whether it's being fed these images through news broadcasts, being fed these images through television and film, which then is approved by the fucking CIA before it even comes out. The level of psychological warfare that we are under is insane. And because of that, our perception of war is very warped. So I want us to really understand we are at war. This is warfare. When you are at war with them, you corner them, and you take away their resources. You don't allow them to be able to feed themselves, to keep themselves housed. You don't allow them to be able to access ideological tools and materials that could help them build and create strategy. It's fucking sick how they've done it on every level. When you actually really start thinking about it fundamentally, it's almost brilliant how tactical they've been because it's so goddamn coded. We don't even fucking see. They have finessed the fuck out of us. It is crazy. We honestly in this society believe that the only time that the state is attacking us is when we see physical representation of being attacked. That is how disassociated we are from understanding the levels of psychological warfare and just general assimilation into colonial society. We are so deeply rooted within it that some of the fixtures within our society we actually believe keep us safe. How fucked is that? People are gonna be like, oh, okay, now she's drifting off. She sounded like a conspiracy theorist. It's not. It's history. It's looking at the way white supremacy is a hegemonic, dominant global power. They do this shit all around the world. And when I say they, I think people always assume I'm just talking about every single white person. I'm not. I'm talking about the ruling class. But I do sometimes have issue with white people because white people have bought into whiteness, which that's a whole nother, I can't even fucking get into that today. I really just want us to think about organizing and rethink the way that we've been prompted to mobilize. Please remember that. We're being prompted. We're being pushed towards mobilization. They again, this is what I was yesterday talking about reform, how they reformed police and they gave them body cams. Let's think about body cams and the economy that was built around visual imagery of Black death and the way they use the imaging and the propaganda through news and continuously showing us these images on a loop because they want us to mobilize. And what happened after a bloody ass fucking summer of us mobilizing? They slowly started changing the laws in different states to criminalize protesting because they are trying to consolidate. They are trying to, it's fucking war. They do not want revolution. So they prompt us to mobilize so they can use that as an excuse to, again, change the laws. And this is why I was talking about criminality. It is not real. They keep shifting it and altering it to benefit their particular agenda, which is to eliminate dissent, to eliminate any potentiality for revolution. All of this shit is so tactical. It is fucking war. I don't know how else I can say that to y'all. So, yeah, just please keep that in mind. We need to organize. There is a time and a space for mobilization, but at this current point and in this historical moment, the way that we are mobilizing is only benefiting the ruling class. I forgot what state it was in, but basically, in one state, I forget what state it was. That pisses me off that I can't give you all that information, but, in whatever state it was, not only, were they making specific laws to criminalize protesters, but just regular civilians who were running through protests with their cars, driving through protests. Those people are not being charged by the state for essentially killing civilians. What is that telling us? What when we hear that, what does that tell you? To me, it says, seems like the police state that we are existing in is trying to make it okay for citizens that are white supremacists to run over fucking protesters. It seems like they are trying to expand their army outside of people who are hired by government, but they are working directly with white supremacists. And I don't know, maybe that's because this is a colonial white supremacist society and the fucking police were already white supremacists before they were, before they were branded as police. They were slave catchers. So if anything, this is business as usual. So, that's pretty much it from me today. We are at war. We are at war. We are at war. We've been at war. We need to now organize. We can't keep only reacting. We have historically done that. We can't keep moving like that. It's not working. They are only getting better at suppressing poor, working class, racialized, colonized people. They're only getting better at making laws that continue to enrich them and isolate us, break our communities apart so we are unable to organize. Everything that this society is, the matrix that we are living in, it was created by somebody. Don't be a monkey for these people. Don't just hop up and down when they show you an image. Get up right now and do something. You shouldn't need to be prompted. You're a human being with autonomy. You don't need to have a carrot in front of you like a goddamn horse to make you get up and run. You have autonomy. Use that shit and start building, start organizing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure today is going to be my last day doing this shit. Hella people kept asking for a podcast. Look, man, I'm doing this library shit. We're expanding our prison chapters. I'm doing a lot of organizing shit, trying to link up with incarcerated folks. And I also need to make an album in order to pay my rent. So it's just a lot going on. I will try to do it, but I am not any authority to this shit. These are just a couple rant. There's already a bunch of podcasts that I'll try to link a little bit later that do the same type of, but even better, political education and talking and analysis and stuff like that. So we'll see. But, thanks for listening, I guess. Last point, and then I'm going because my throat is fucked. When I'm saying organize, I think people get afraid of that word and they think it's something big and scary and it's like only organizers can do it. Like it's this far away thing. Organizing is literally just like organizing. So if it's you and a friend and there's something in your community that you want to see done, all you guys have to do is do the research and put in a little bit of work to try to get it done. If you're like, this pothole is causing a lot of jammed up traffic on this block and it's affecting people, or folks are getting hurt, maybe we should go try to talk to the city or raise some money or do. That's organizing. Like you can find a radical political organization in your hood or somewhere that is local to you and join that. But organizing is literally just pulling up on somebody and being like, hey, what do you need? And strategically figuring out a way to help them get what they need. Or thinking about, what do you need? During the pandemic, did you need to not pay rent because you didn't have no money? Maybe you could have organized with some of the other tenants in your building to do a rent freeze. That's organizing. It's not the scary, faraway thing. It's, talking to your neighbors and seeing what they need and building around that. All right. I love you. Bye.